We told you about the 500,000 Americans who are considered homeless. In Alabama, that number is right around 3,400 people.
And advocates say a key factor in those rising numbers is the inability to afford housing. It's a problem we're seeing here in the River region.
According to the National Low Income Housing Coalition, housing is the key to reducing intergeneration poverty and increasing economic mobility.
And a coalition here in our state is working to bridge the gap between housing and homelessness. Joining us live now over Zoom is Deborah Tucker from the Alabama Rural Coalition for the Homeless.
The number of homeless school children is rising in the U.S. That's according to stats just released by the U.S. Department of Education. It says 1.3 million homeless children were enrolled in U.S. schools in the 2012-2013 school year. That is an 8% increase from the previous year.
A federal judge has issued a permanent injunction against state statutes that criminalize panhandling by people who are homeless.
The ruling comes as an Alabama House Republican has filed a bill that would increase penalties for loitering, subjecting those who are homeless to months in jail.
Well, a federal judge in Alabama taking steps to decriminalize homelessness in the state.
This comes as an Alabama House Republican files a bill that would increase penalties for loitering, subjecting those who are homeless to possible months in jail and fines.
New tonight, organizations are surveying unhoused and homeless people to count Alabama's homeless population. It's part of the Department of Housing and Urban Development's annual point-in-time count. The annual survey serves as the basis for determining the needs of homeless people across the country.
In Alabama news, Alabama House Bill 24 has just passed both the House and Senate, and now it heads to Governor Kay Ivey's desk for her signature.
Now, some say this particular measure is aimed at making it easier to arrest people without a place to call home.
Brianna Alexander knows what it's like to be homeless.
I lost housing a few years back and ended up in a shelter with my kids.
She says while in that shelter, she took advantage of every resource available to get back on her feet and provide for her family.
The problem is housing, and you're right. And a lot of people have jobs that's homeless, and how that come about.
As a homeless person, Brad Johnson was put in handcuffs while trying to overcome his hardship. Unfortunately, between jail, having to pay fines, how can people get a job when they're sitting in jail for something simple as trying to find a place to stay?
And be treated differently because they have no home is not right, and something has to be done.
They do this every year, and last year when they did it, I think they counted about 350 individuals who was homeless. So really, to be honest with you, I'm hoping that we have way more than that because, again, the more people that we have, the more funds that we get, the more programs that we can have in the area.
Jerry, Christine, I'm told Decatur is 17 to 19% below poverty level. That is not just people struggling with homelessness. It includes people in Decatur who don't have cars and can't get to a decent job, and there's no public transportation. I'm told anyone could be mistaken for homeless if they're walking and suddenly stop for arrest.